Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi.
And I'm Charlotte.
And today we're doing something a little bit different because although it's the Hyundai day, we're actually filming two vehicles and one of them is its closest competitor.
Yep.
So Charlotte,
sorry, you go ahead.
We like to say these vehicles are
sisters, but not twins.
Exactly, just like me and Charlotte. So they share a lot of similarities, but looks-wise and just application of the technology is completely different. So today we're going to try to break it down as simple as we can, starting off with Charlotte and the Sorento. But Charlotte, you take the Sorento to a different level. Talk a little bit about what I mean by that.
Oh, so when it comes to the Sorento, I'm actually driving one right now. And fun fact, I was previously driving a Sportage, and I actually enjoyed this specific trim in this specific color so much that I actually ended up switching my demo. So I'm definitely a little bit biased heading into this review in the fact that I love the Sorento, and I think that this one offers exceptional value. Now, between these two vehicles, we're also comparing them because they're a very similar price point with only about $2,000 separating them. So the Sorento comes in at $47,975, I think. And you've got
the Santa Fe, so this one's the luxury model. It's priced at $49,999 Canadian. And again, these are Canadian spec models. If you're in the States or another country, your equipment may, and of course your pricing may vary. So shall we get into it?
With that being said, let's get into it.
All right.
So we're going to start off by talking about the exterior on the Sorento, and then from there we'll head over, take a look at the exterior of the Santa Fe, and then head back into the interior. You guys get the gist. But we're going to keep it fairly general. Now when it comes to tech and safeties, there's going to be a fair bit of overlap. So first things first, you can see that this definitely follows a more traditional look. And when I say a traditional look, I mean it's not super boxy and that more trendy shape that we have on the Santa Fe. This is more traditional, but it adds in rugged elements. For example, when it comes to the casing around the grille, as you can see that this is actually a matte, and it's a gunmetal matte, so a lot darker the accents. And then we have a mixture of glossy black accents on the front too. In the front, we're also going to have our radar plate because this vehicle does have highway drive assist, and we also have front parking sensors too. So tons going on in the front, and then when it comes to our headlight units, we have full LEDs on the front and on the rear of this vehicle, and take a look at that striking amber light. This is something I absolutely think is gorgeous, and again, I love LEDs. You know it's not going to be a problem when it comes to seeing at night in the dark. So when it comes to powertrain, these vehicles are also going to share the same powertrain of a 2.5-liter turbo, and that's going to be paired with an 8-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission, which obviously gets a little bit of heat, but personally I love it, and that's a huge reason why I picked the Sorento. Now let's move around to the side. Actually, maybe we'll go this side, that way we can take a look at the Santa Fe too. Sorry, wasn't quite thinking there. Now, one thing the Sorento does not have on the side is going to be side parking sensors, but here you can take a look at the beautiful body lines that we do have, and we also have 20-inch alloy wheels, which are fully blacked out, again, adding to that more rugged appeal. When it comes to some of our side garnishes, we're going to have a mix of some flat black and then also some glossy black, and again, around our wheel wells too, which I think looks really good. Mirrors are glossy black with a turn signal indicator, and we also have blind spot detection on this vehicle. And when it comes to getting into the vehicle, we also have a proximity key with keyless entry. So press that to lock and unlock your vehicle, and you can get in. On the top, we have a nice ladder-style roof rack, which again has a little bit of that glossy black accenting on it. And again, it's going to add to that more rugged appeal while also maintaining a traditional approach. Absolutely love how this vehicle comes together. I think it's beautiful. I think it's fun to drive. And as we come around to the rear, you can see what we got back here. Like I said, we have LED combination lights for the rear, and then more of a beefed out bumper, I'd say, with more of those gunmetal dark accents. And we also have rear parking sensors too. When it comes to the tailgate itself, we do have a smart tailgate with a proximity key, and it is, as you can see, powered. So I love this. This has quickly become one of my non-negotiables and one of my favorite features, and this also gives you a little bit of the space that we have. Now this vehicle is going to be a 6-seater configuration, which is available on everything up from the base model, the LX, and so this would be what your storage space would be looking like if you are using all 6 seats. Underneath, you know what you don't see? A tire mobility kit. You know what you also don't see? A spare tire. That's just because it's mounted right underneath the vehicle. So don't worry, it's still there, and I love having the peace of mind of having a real spare. Now underneath, if you were looking at this and thinking, Charlotte, I think something's missing, where's the rear wiper? Don't worry, it's just tucked underneath the rear spoiler up top, but it is there, and again, that just helps protect it from some of the elements. As for some of the other little safety features that we do have on the front, we do have things like forward collision avoidance assist, lane keep assist, and also lane follow assist. So all of those are coming onto this vehicle, and a lot of those are actually standard on the Sorento, no matter which trim you choose. That's really going to wrap up the exterior. Gabby, do you want to take a look at the exterior of the Santa Fe or hop inside?
Let's take a look inside.
Let's take a look inside. We'll keep it classy with the Sorento.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to show the seat for the passenger?
So passenger does get a manual seat. You can control the backrest and then of course the position of the seat from the bar handle.
So that definitely is a difference, the fact that it is manual. Now when it comes to our driver's seat, you still have a leatherette interior, and I do have a powered driver's seat with the addition of two-way lumbar support. So again, very comfortable. I also love the design and the actual layout of this cabin. I think it's very easy to use. There's some beautiful elements. We have some nice wood grain trim, and again, that adds to the rugged appeal, while also giving it that more traditional look, which the Santa Fe definitely offers a more modern appeal. Steering wheel, leather wrapped, heated. We still have paddle shifters for that 8-speed dual clutch, which is super fun. And then something that is going to be the same is the software that is running in these vehicles. So we have the updated CCNC software, which I absolutely love. And it also means we have the capacity for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So here is a look at your screen. Both screens are going to be the same in the Sorento and in the Santa Fe. So all of this is going to be the exact same with the simplified graphics over here too. So well, I guess this isn't really simplified, but again, I love how this looks. I think it looks really, really good. When it comes down here, we do have a switchable infotainment / climate cluster. We still have a wireless phone charger down at the bottom, and if you do want to operate with a wired connectivity or wired charging, you have the option to do so here. One of the differences is that this only has heated seats in the front, and then also, I think a huge difference, which may not seem like a big deal, but I think it is the gear shift itself. So this is a leather-topped actual gear shift, a normal gear shift that you can knock into manual mode as well if paddle shifters is enough for you. And then from here, you're also going to have the integration of your drive modes, heated steering wheel, auto hold, parking brake, and another difference that we have is going to come from our camera. We just have a nice crystal clear rear view camera on this vehicle, and we also have our parking sensors, which we'll be able to see with the vehicle. Your center console is also going to be different. So here's a look inside. You have a little removable tray here too. And let's take a look up top. I think this is also a huge win for the Sorento. I love having one big panoramic sunroof. Now, if you're wondering if the whole thing opens, no it doesn't, but it does open to about that halfway bar. And you have a bug net up top too. That way you can open it without fear that creepy crawlies are gonna get inside. So, unless they come directly above, which is a real possibility. I'm just being real.
It happens.
Let's take a look at the space in the second and third row. Do you want to show the door panel real quick? Yeah. Something I love is that you have multiple areas for cup holders or for bottle holders. I love having a real cup holder that's mounted to the door too, and you also have heated seats for your second row. I think the space back here is absolutely incredible, and I find it incredibly comfortable as well. Tons of headroom despite having the panoramic sunroof, and you have great amenities back here too, such as rear air vents, and then down below you have a 12-volt. You have seat-mounted USB-Cs and dual pockets for each seat. And also, these seats are nice and easy to move if you do want to get into the third row.
So right up at the top for both myself and Charlotte's seat, give it a push, folds the seat, allows it to roll on its rail, and now you can easily walk it to the back unless there's mats there.
There are mats here. So the nice thing about having the captain's chair's configuration is I can either hop through the center to get to the third row, or I can come through this side. And I like that there's also the option down below to knock the seat forward. That way, if you do have a smaller child, they don't have to reach all the way up top. They can easily access it from there. And I will note that both of these seats are going to have lower latch anchors. They also have top tethers, and we have lower latch anchors back here and tethers too. So lots of rooms for car seats should need be. One thing I will point out that we do not have back here, and that is going to be rear air vents for the third row. We only have them for the second. However, I have tested it, and we do get a steady stream of air coming from the center ones back here too. And again, that's because of the captain's chair's configuration. But I do like that we have dual USB-Cs, cup holders, convenience pockets, everything along those lines back here. And I also have controls for the second row that are accessible here to knock down my seats. So that's great if you are trying to access it from the trunk.
Cool.
How was that for a quick fire run through?
I think that was good.
Did we cover everything?
We're under 10 minutes. That is really good. So we'll do the same for the Santa Fe now too, and then towards the end of this video, we'll do a quick fire comparisons, what's new, what's missing, what has what, kind of
What's
thing.
missing what, yep.
And then answer some questions as well too. So I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, but I'll say it again. The MSRP of the Santa Fe in this luxury trim is $49,999 Canadian. This is one below the top trim level. The Sorento is two below the top trim level. Both of these vehicles offer a ton of different options, so depending on what vehicle you like more, you can definitely find a trim that works best for you. I'm just going to quickly turn the lights back on so we can get a close kind of head-to-head comparison. You're still going to get full LEDs on this trim. It's just a completely different look. So I will say the Santa Fe definitely has a very modern twist to it. It is a kind of a retro futuristic feel, so very boxy. Your grille and your front accents are not going to look like a traditional car. You may notice over here that it's completely closed off. But that's actually because those are active air grille shutters. So as you turn on this vehicle and as the vehicle senses it needs some cooling, it automatically opens it. I think that's pretty cool. You also have front parking sensors, and in the very, very center, you'll notice we have a front view camera. And that's not the only camera on this vehicle. You actually have 4 just on the exterior alone, and then an additional one in the very center of your windscreen for your lane keep and forward collision avoidance assistances. So this car has a full 360 cam, front view camera, blind view cameras, you name it, the vehicle's got it. You can see everything that's happening around you. Your Hyundai logo is pressed into the hood, which I think looks really nice. And one more thing I'll point out is that hood is going to be hydraulic. So if you do want to pop that hood to check out that 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gas engine with 277 horse on this one, you can do so very easily. So little things like that I really appreciate, but that's largely because we review these cars and we pop the hoods all the time. In an actual ownership perspective, you may not necessarily need that. For your wheels, they're 20-inch alloys, very propeller-esque. I like them. You definitely don't get a lot of blacked out elements on this vehicle. I say that as I'm about to talk about a blacked out element, but it's not as dark or as rugged looking as the Kia Sorento, but that's just because this is the luxury trim, and you'll see that come in when we hop inside.
I think the shape is rugged of this one, but the elements are a little bit more
softer.
luxe. Yeah,
absolutely. Body colored mirrors, daytime running light, turn signal repeater, and then your blind view camera. Flip side, you get blind spot detection, and you may notice that your door handles don't look the same as the Sorento. You still have a button-ish, it's more of an indent, and essentially that just means I can do the same thing, so it's proximity. Just got to put my hand behind the door handle, automatically opens, unlocks, or locks, and I can also start it and unlock it from my phone as well too, so extra convenience. Your roof rails are raised, and then they have that glossy black look. Along the back, this is where the Santa Fe gets the most heat, so it is completely flat back here. Flat bottom. Very easy to park up very close to a wall, though, I will say that.
Yeah.
Now, where this vehicle truly shines is the fact that this opening is huge.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what kind of cargo you need to put in your car, it will work.
90-degree angle.
Complete 90 degrees. And then all of this usable space. Seriously, it has a low load height. So no matter what you're lifting, if it's super heavy, you don't have to put extra strength into actually fitting it over your car. It's not a problem. You do have a 3-row configuration. However, this is going to feature a bench seat instead of captain's chairs. So you can kind of take a glimpse of that now. 2 seats in the very back, very easy to fold down. There's tethers. You just give it a pull, knocks the seat, and it allows it to roll back. But I'm not going to do so because I'm going to sit in it eventually. Another thing that's going to make the Santa Fe different is we don't get a spare tire. We get a mobility kit.
Womp womp.
I know. But nonetheless, I don't even know where we'd put it, I guess, other than under the vehicle.
Yeah, rear mounted.
On the right side, just before we actually hop in, take a look. There are some rear air vents over here, so you can control the fan speed and then, of course, open or close those actual fans. You can also shut off rear ventilation from the front, so if there's no one sitting back here, you don't have to worry about that. Another thing that makes this vehicle different, I don't know if Charlotte pointed it out, but there is a household outlet back there. So if you're someone who enjoys a lot of outdoorsy things, maybe camping, it's nice to have a higher output outlet in your vehicle instead of 12 volts all the time. Let's close that, close this, make sure I get out of the way. But seriously, it's interesting to look at because it's not very conventional, but it is truly impressive, and a lot of our Santa Fe owners are loving the fact that their vehicle is so easy to, load and unload stuff with. Along the back too, I know we're kind of in a cramped area right now, but there is some rear parking sensors. This vehicle features rear cross-traffic collision avoidance assist and even side-mounted parking sensors as well too. So this vehicle is on the alert all the time, whether it's changing lanes or actually parking in a busy parking lot. You're gonna get that camera view and active sensors with brake correction. So if it senses you're gonna hit something, it will apply emergency braking. Let's take a look inside. So we'll have Charlotte meet me on the passenger side. For the driver's seat, you're gonna get quite a few power control options, and then for the passenger side, you're gonna get an 8-way driver power seat. So check that out. So truly, that's where luxury comes into play. I will say, if you're comparing the top version of the Santa Fe versus the top version of the Sorento, Sorento is always going to be a little bit more sporty and outdoorsy style. And then this vehicle is just going to have a little bit more of a luxe touch. So it really comes down to what you like in a car, because tech-wise and powertrain-wise, they are the same. In the very center, it is completely laid out differently. Very, very different. So we got a lot of open and usable space. For your center console, you get multi-levels with LED illumination. You get very, very deep cup holders, a single wireless charger, but the top trim gives you a double one. And then you also get your data transfer and USB-Cs up here. Your drive mode select, and everything that you saw in Charlotte's car kind of laid out all around the actual gear shift is all over here, which is a little weird at first, but again, if you're daily driving the car, you get used to it.
Very true.
Auto holds for your braking. Your drive and terrain modes are over here. I will not lie, I'm always going to be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of this application of it. I much prefer a dial, but again, it's because I haven't been in this car that much. So let's check it out. Normal, sport, and my drive, so a custom drive mode. You also get snow, mud, and sand. There's only all-wheel drive here in Canada for the Santa Fe too, so if you're curious about that, you're good in the all-wheel drive department. Idle, stop and go, downhill brake assist, your full view camera. Let's just turn that car back on again, and then your parking sensors. So this is going to be very different than Charlotte's specific model, but you can totally get that in the Sorento if you go up a trim. Let's just show you what the camera looks like. So full 360 view. Looks a little weird over there because Charlotte's door is open. And then right up ahead, you can see a Porsche 944 because that's exactly what's right in front of us. Wow, cute. So realistic. And then for our main screen here, we have our premium 12.3-inch display. And the reason why I say premium is because although the Sorento has the same size, that one doesn't have navigation built in. So it's the light version, this is the full version. Still, same thing, you get these huge simplified graphics, a lot quicker processing times than our previous generation screens in our old Santa Fe's and old Sorentos, and a complete new look. You also get wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on both of these vehicles too. So if that was your deciding factor, I just made your job a lot harder. And then all of our buttons are laid out over here. While this definitely has a more techie approach to it, it's still nice in the sense that we have real buttons. It's not a complete screen. The only screen element is going to be your climate control, and it's fairly responsive. It's quite nice actually, and you do get audible and haptic feedback whenever you do something.
Ventilated seats.
Yeah, ventilated seats, heated seats, and a memory driver's seat. That is something that definitely makes this worthy of the luxury title. You get a lot of those more plush features. You do have a double glove box or
Upstairs,
storage
downstairs.
compartment. Yeah, multi-level storage. So I just think they were a little bit more creative in how they use their space in the Santa Fe, if that makes sense. So again, making that rear end super, super easy to open, very, very angled in a way that makes life easy. And then for the cabin as well too, there's just a lot of open space. Your gear shift, this is one thing that is very different. It's a shift by wire, so it still operates the same as a regular 8-speed dual clutch, but changing gears is a little different. Again, you get used to it as you drive your car. You do have paddle shifters, so if you'd like to manually manipulate those gears, you certainly can. And then all of your convenience controls, like your driver assistance and your voice commands, audio, that kind of thing on the right side. I think it's laid out very nicely. I might just grab the camera to show the memory seats. Yeah, check that out.
That's sweet. You get a great integration of ambient lighting too.
Yeah, all of the finishes I think are very, very luxe, very nice on this car. Charlotte mentioned the ambient lighting, so that's what that blue hue is going to be. You can totally change the color to whatever you like best. Hazards, your start button's in a little bit of a different spot. Yeah. I will also point this out because a lot of people might not be used to this. No Hyundai emblem, but this is the Morse code for H. So you're still getting that H. And if there wasn't enough H's in this car, oh, if you take a closer look, they're everywhere.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes.
H.
I love it though. I love a good gimmick.
It is pretty
good
cool.
motif.
All right, let's take a look at the second row though.
I also just want to shout out Paul. Paul sent us a super chat, which is so generous of him. Paul has been a long time and big supporter of our channel, and we are very grateful that he pops onto the live videos when he can.
Thank you, Paul. All right, back here, bench seats, so very different, but also kind of beneficial, because if you are taking 5 people with you, in the Sorento, you would have to utilize that third row, and then you lose a lot of cargo space. So 5 passengers very comfortably. Both of the main seats are going to be heated, and you do get a beautiful design in the leather as well, too. If you want to access the third row, it is still fairly easy, although it's not in a captain's chair configuration, because we still have that button up at the very top that if I give it a push, it's going to fold that seat, slide it, and allow me to walk over, probably more so from this side, just to make it easier. So I'll just move this back for a second while I point out the USB-Cs, integrated bag hooks, H motif, and then instead of leather pockets, we get a plastic pocket, but it does have elastic, so it is fairly configurable. And then back here, a nice deep storage compartment.
You got hidden storage in that too.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Another thing, I didn't point this out earlier, but this glove box or center console, bi-directional. So I can open it from this side, so your rear passengers can, or you can open it from the front.
Tons of storage opportunities. I like the idea of the hidden snack too, just behind, because there's actually another compartment too that you can pull out.
Yeah.
So pretty sweet.
Also, if you try to open them both at the same time, what happens, Charlotte?
Takes a screenshot.
There you go. In the very center, like most vehicles, you do have a fold-down armrest or cup holder situation.
You get sunshades.
I'm gonna go into the back.
Yeah, sunshades. You get that on this car, which as a parent, I absolutely love.
And this is gonna be a little awkward because I left the one seat down. But to hop into the back, you do have a nice step, so it's fairly easy.
Nice.
Don't recommend doing it in heels, but let's
All-terrain shoes.
go. All right, we're back here.
That was so effortless.
Thank you. Easy breezy, beautiful. No, but seriously, back here, because this vehicle is a rectangle, you get an abundance of headroom, and it actually convexes upwards too. So
Yeah, that's great, eh?
yeah, even though I don't need it, like I would be okay if it was just completely flat. It's very nice to have. Air vents back here, like I mentioned earlier, USB-Cs, cup holders, and air vent control. So if I'd like more or less airflow, I totally can change that. And then you get the benefit of that household outlet too. So if you have a laptop or something that requires a little bit more power, you can charge it here, which is very nice. If I need to escape, I can press that, folds that seat down again, and allows it to go forwards. And look at this, look at all this space.
Yeah, you got a lot.
There's a good amount of space. I mean, you wouldn't drive like this, but if you were parked for a bit, you could stretch your legs without getting out of the car.
Yeah, super spacious. You got a nice sunroof. That's your own personal sunroof.
Yeah. I should point out the sunroofs. So this one is just a fixed glass pane, so it's not going to open. You can only power control the cover. And then the sunroof up at the very front is a powered sunroof, so that one's going to have the ability to tilt or actually open, whatever you like best. So those are some big differences there.
Yeah.
Should we see what the chat's saying?
Pillar mounted second row vents. So you got those too? Yeah, let's see what the chat is saying.
Okay.
We'll answer some questions.
Get out nice and gracefully.
Nice job.
Wow. Oh. It's gonna be weird for a second.
It's all good. Don't you worry, gorgeous. Alrighty. So let's answer some questions. We also have #1 sales associate Grant Johnson in the house.
Hey, what's up? The reason I started doing live video, we do videos here every day, showcase different cars.
Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want to sit in a car?
Yeah, maybe we should go inside a
Yeah.
car.
Why don't we go in the Santa Fe? 'Cause it's pretty spacious. And then
Oh.
maybe we can. Oh, you want to go in the Sorento?
This
Okay,
is
we're
where
here.
I walked, yeah, I guess.
Okay, sorry for that, guys. That was a little awkward, not gonna lie.
That was very awkward. Okay.
Okay.
You can tell we don't do well with the live audience.
Yeah, we're much more live stream type of girls.
Yeah. I don't really have anywhere to put this down, so I'm just gonna.
If you need me to hold it, I'll hold it for you. I got it. There we go. All right, questions about the cars. What do you guys think?
What's the base price? So base price of the Santa Fe or the Sorento?
Well, we can give you both. MSRP for the Sorento is $47,975, and the Santa Fe, the Luxury, is $49,999. Would you
I
ladies
guess-
ever do a live drive vlog? We have done a couple.
Yes.
We've gone through the McDonald's drive-thru, and then we've also gone for a little launch control.
Is the shade of white the same on both? No. So the Santa Fe is going to be Atlas white, which isn't considered a pearl paint in the way that the Sorento is. The Sorento is called Glacial White Pearl. I do think this white is going to shine a little bit more. It's definitely going to have that more pearl flake. I think they both look really good though.
Yeah. Lots of room in the back and very spacious. Yes, very much. Does this come with heated and cooled seats? So you only have heated seats in the front for the Sorento. In the front of the Santa Fe, you have heated and ventilated, and then in the second row, both of them have heated seats.
Yeah. I will point out though, that's just on what we filmed. You can get both options
Yes.
on either vehicle.
Yes, this is just doing a comparison between these two trims.
This is so weird. We're having a full.
They're having like a full-on conversation up front.
Yeah, strange.
All right.
I don't know. Do you think we should end off today's video?
Yes, probably.
Yeah? Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If there was any questions you had about either vehicle that we may have missed in the live stream, and or we just didn't get to because
Of what's going on directly in front of us.
please let us know, and we can definitely reach out and
Yep.
respond as soon as we can. Of course, we will be back with another live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow.
So as always, make sure that you like and comment what you want to see next and any questions, and subscribe if you've not so. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.